You're now listening to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing.
The Durian Heat, bringing big ideas and critical opinions in Southeast Asia.
Welcome back to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing. You are with Grace at the Durian Heat, where we discuss matters and issues around Southeast Asia. And Durian ASEAN has been collaborating a BTL clinic regarding this beauty series. It's a monthly interview series, and where we invite doctors to discuss issues regarding aesthetic, from aesthetic to health issues. And today, we're gonna focus more on beauty at this interview, where we will be welcoming a lot of celebration and a festive season starting from Christmas, New Year, which is going to be in very soon in a month time, 2016. And of course, we can't ignore one of our biggest celebration in Malaysia, which is Chinese New Year. So we have invited Dr. Shan Cheng, who is the managing director of Aurelia Clinic, to discuss and also share his experience when it comes to the beauty, how to groom yourself towards all this festive season in Malaysia. So, Dr. Shan, could you briefly introduce yourself?
Sure. Well, thanks for having me here.
You're welcome.
My name's Dr. Shan from Aurelia.
Mm-hmm.
We are actually a integrated medical center whereby we have dentistry.
Right.
We have our medical department, which does aesthetics, and the last bit is surgery as well. So we do the full range of things. We deal with health problems, right up to aesthetic concerns of individual clients or patients. Yeah.
And how long have you been in this area when it comes to beauty? And what made you to jump into this area?
Aurelia's fairly new. We're one of the newest in Malaysia or in this region. We are poised to be one of the biggest as well. What made me jump into this field? Well, aesthetics, or really this field of medicine, also known as anti-aging as well, has really excited me and got me into this because of all the new technologies, which is not available anywhere else in the medical field.
Right.
And we can really results. It's unlike any other procedures or any other medical procedure or treatments that we do. With aesthetics, you get immediate results.
Right.
Usually, most of the time, you get immediate results.
Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds quite fresh, to be honest. I mean, talking about those technology in Malaysia. But at the same time, before we move on to our the main topic of today, before that, let's just talk about the general side of beauty. Right. When it comes to beauty, in your opinion, doctor, what is your perception? Especially, I'm sure it will be different from female and males.
What's my perception of beauty?
Yes.
Well,
how would you define the beauty when, for example, when it comes to female? Because the beauty is also sort of a trend.
It is.
Yes.
And
then also because the media plays a huge part when it comes to beauty. So do you really recommend based on what you see, or you have your own sort of like firm opinion when it comes to beauty?
Well, from a medical aesthetics point of view, we have our golden ratios when it comes to beauty. How high a forehead should be, how wide or how far apart your cheekbones, your eyes, and so forth. How high or what's the angle of your nose tip and all that. We have those golden ratios, but I suppose at the end of the day, it's the client or the patient themselves. Yeah. So if they feel
comfortable,
yeah, I guess that's where that is more important than anything else. So we are, or doctors should be, more patient or client focused. So we listen to what they want, and we try to achieve the results for them.
Right.
So that's most important.
So what is common concern coming from the clients when it comes to this area?
It really depends on the age group. We have younger clients that comes in for acne problem, for
Right.
example. Yeah, so you get that a lot. And then as you go along with your age, there are clients coming in, with stress from work and so forth. So
Right.
they have those eye bags that
Right.
that they want to get sorted out, or they have those clients that say in their mid or later 20s, where they're about to get married, and then they want to get fit and into their wedding dress and all that, so they come in for weight management, body sculpting, so forth. And then you go on after that, it's where after they have their babies, and then they want to get back in shape. So
Right.
again, so it really depends on the age group.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. How about males? I'm more curious about the males, boys or guys, even working adults.
Yeah.
What's their concerns?
Males, well, you get the eye bags quite a bit,
All right.
and also weight loss.
Beer belly.
Yeah, beer belly. So the common concerns for males are when it comes to the face, perhaps double eyelid,
All right.
and perhaps acne problem as well, very very prevalent. Nose,
Nose as well.
yeah, nose. So they want sharper features. You could do that. Besides that, it's really the body sculpting bit for males.
I'm
generally.
curious here, doctor, because you're based in Malaysia.
That's right.
But when you are to compare the Asian and then the Western people,
Yes.
what is Western people's concern when it comes to beauty? Because when I just scroll through the social media, some Western people, they do convert themselves to look like Asians even. What's their real concern?
Real concern for
Because for Asians, most of them, we want to look sharper. We want to have defined features on our faces. But for the European people or any of people from those regions, what will be their concerns?
well, I mean the difference between the Asians and the Westerners when it comes to say top 5 cosmetic procedures.
All right.
The Westerners go for breast augmentation more, whereas the Asian, we go for the double eyelids, rhinoplasty, meaning your nose, breast augmentation as well, but it's further down the list, and liposuction. The concerns are similar, except that perhaps Westerners do more of the some of the cosmetics or aesthetics procedure compared to Asian when it comes to body, for example, breast augmentation. So that's, I mean, concerns are similar, but it's just the where it's on the list that is different.
That's very interesting because when I think about all those beauty concerns comparing Westerner and the Asians, it's a skin color. I will say Asians, they love to go fairer and fairer,
Yep.
whereas the Western, they want to go for tan skin, the brown skin.
That is
Yeah.
that is correct as well. Yes. Yeah.
So, well, before we move on to the main topic of the today, because we are heading towards the festive season and we will be focusing in Malaysia. But before we end our first segment of this interview, Doctor, what is the most frequently asked question from your clients? I mean, it differs from age to age,
Right.
but then what is the most frequently asked question to you? Yeah.
What can I do? That's what they ask all the time. Like,
Where is it?
yeah, they'll come to you and they say, "What can I do?" You know, they I guess it stems from confidence as well. So they're
Right.
unsure. They perhaps they already have something in mind. For example, it's the eye bag or double eyelid, for example. But they still come in. They won't tell you that I want this or want that. Sometimes they do, But quite often I find that they don't do that. If it's their first timer, they'll come in and they say that, what can I do, or what can you do for me? And then as you go along with the questioning process or the interview process, they'll tell you, this is what I want. But they usually ask that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting question. So before we continue to our second segment, we'll take a short break. And then when we come back, we'll continue our conversation with the Dr. Chen.
The Durian Heat. Bringing big ideas and critical opinions in Southeast Asia.
Welcome back to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing. And you're with Grace at the Durian Heat. I have been having this conversation with the Dr. Shan Cheng.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or Dr. Shan.
Dr. Shan here with us. And yes, of course, we have been collaborating with the BTL to have this 6-month series. So anyone who's listening to our interview right now, you can leave us your comments or even questions. Then we'll ask all those doctors here to answer your questions later on. So at this time, we are focusing on perhaps the beauty problems or preparation towards the festive seasons in Malaysia. And I have mentioned this very shortly about a few festivals such as Christmas, New Year 2016, and coming up Chinese New Year next year. And of course, these three are one of the biggest celebrations that's going on in Malaysia. So Dr. Shan,
Yes.
when it comes to festive seasons, what are the main concerns when it comes to the beauty?
Well, I guess how you would look in front of your friends, your colleagues, and your families that
Right.
You have not met for quite some time, or you only do once a year.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of people asking you, oh, you look stressed, is it stressful at work, wouldn't it be much better if they were to say or compliment you on how good you look?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I mean the main concern is the outlook, how they look. They don't want to look tired or stressed.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing is the weight as well, and
Right.
how your overall body, how you look. So the contour, the outline is important. Yeah.
So mainly how you want to look better in front of your family,
That's
especially in front of camera also,
Yep, in
because
front
there will
of
be a
camera.
lot of photo sessions taken. And also festive season, yes, there will be a lot of food and drinking sessions.
That's it.
So people will be concerned when it comes to weight. So could you elaborate more? Perhaps you can also elaborate from different age or different gender. Let's see, we can dissect the problem into details.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go with male and female first.
Sure.
Well, let's start with male. Male's fairly straightforward. From the face, they want to look less tired, more alert. For example, you could do Botox or fillers to fill up the volume lost. And Botox really just to tighten the skin or to remove or to eliminate or lighten some of the wrinkles and so forth. The rest we could do for males are even hair. Hair is a concern as well for guys with male pattern hair loss. Could go for hair transplantation,
Right.
for example. You would want to give a bit more time before the festive season for that. There are instantaneous ones. That's an option if you're short on time. The other things are for the face are threads as well to lift up. For example, if you got the saggy jowl or where your chin areas sagging, you could do threads. You could use BTL Exilis Exilis Elite. It's a pretty good product, painless, non-invasive, and most of the time you would see results immediately.
Right.
So that's a pretty good option as well. The other thing for males is the body, or like you mentioned earlier, beer belly as well. For those ones, they have several options. You could go from non-invasive to minimally invasive to surgery.
All right.
So, going from non-invasive, you have all the options. For example, with beer belly and those fat or cellulite or that is difficult to remove, we can first hit it with a product called the BTL X Wave, and then after that we could use the BTL Exilis Elite or the BTL Vanquish to give them a non-invasive, no pain treatment towards body sculpting, towards sculpting that body of theirs. The other ones, which is minimally invasive, would consist of liposuction and liposculpture. Yeah, and then you have the surgical option, which is your mini tummy tuck, and so forth. So that's for the guys. The ladies are not that dissimilar. For the face as well, they also want to look less tired. So around the eyes, that's, what they say, the eyes are, that's the most important bit. So eye bags, you want to look more awake. Again, you could use from non-invasive to minimally invasive to surgical option. So the non-invasive bit, you could go with the BTL Exilis Elite. Minimally invasive, you could go for those liposuction around your eyes, and surgical ones, which is what we call blepharoplasty.
Right.
Yep. So that's around the eyes. You could go with, and then you just move around your face. Your nose, for example. You could do a minimally invasive. You could do fillers for your nose. Or you could go the surgical option where you have a rhinoplasty. And then for your mouth or your teeth area, you could go to a dentist. You could get your teeth whitened, for example. You could have your lips puffed up with fillers. And then for the face in general or your silhouette, you could do threads to lift up your face. There are a multitude of treatments options that the aesthetic clinic can offer.
This is very interesting because I'm hearing a lot of options that we can do heading towards the festive season. But doctor, are these all temporarily or it stays pretty for long term once you get all this treatment?
Well, they are. It varies in terms of the how long this treatments how long they last. For example, if we talk about Botox, right? They last roughly 3 to 4 months, and then you get a top up again. And if we were to look at fillers, for example, it depends what kind of fillers you use. It lasts anywhere from 6 months to a year.
I see.
And you have those ones that are fairly long term, those threads that uplifts your facial contours and all that. Those ones are fairly long term. They go up to a year or more. It really depends because as you age, you can't really your skin, or your facial structure would change as you age. So it depends on how you take care of your face at, after the procedure. So the better you take care of yourself, the longer it will last.
So would you give the holders, patients or clients a recommendation after they receive the treatment? For example, they really want to maintain after the treatment. Of course, I can imagine some of them may just, go back to the old habit, perhaps taking care of themselves.
Yeah, we do. We give them a post-treatment package or a pack that they take back, and then there are instructions inside of what to do and what not to do. We do that, and we also follow up with our patients or our client personally as well to make sure that they're doing all right. Or they're okay. Yeah. It's very, very important to us and also to the client that that they have this follow up.
I think it's very important. So my next question to this, because you have listed quite a number of options and the things that we can do, but some of our listeners may get confused to differentiate between the beauty salon and between that and or aesthetic clinic. So could you define and let our listeners maybe hear the differences? Yeah.
Well, there are several differences. First of all, in an aesthetic clinic, all the therapists or all the doctors that work there, or the staff that work on the patient or on the client are qualified medical professionals.
I see.
That's one thing. The second thing is that all the procedures are evidence-backed. So whatever they do on you would have at least a research paper that have backed that to show that what they're doing right now is proven. And also we are regulated by the Ministry of Health in terms of what we can or cannot do.
I see.
Also, I mean, with the medical profession, we have to be very careful with what we do, the products we use. Is it approved by the local regulatory bodies? Is it FDA approved, and so forth? With beauty salons, they're less regulated. They're probably more comfort based. You
I
go
see.
there. It is comfortable. I've been to a beauty salon. I've been to a spa. It's comfortable. But they don't have to be evidence-based or to have any medical proof behind the treatment that they do. Whereas for us, we need to prove, or if we were to get questioned one day, whether what you're doing what we're doing have any proof or of its effect, we have to be able to prove it. So yes, that's the major difference between us both. But that being said, medical clinics or medical centers, aesthetic centers are moving towards, for example, Aurelia, we are moving towards the giving the client the beauty salon or the spa feel as well.
So it's a whole package.
Yes. We are moving towards that direction. So best of both worlds.
So is this concept pretty new in this region?
It is pretty new in Malaysia, in this region, like you mentioned. It's fairly popular in the Western world, in the US and all that. They have medi spas where they go, clients go to this center to have spa-like treatment, and also this medically or evidence-backed procedures as well.
Right. So we'll take another short break. When we come back, we'll discuss more on this beauty and also heading towards the festive season in Malaysia.
The Durian Heat, bringing big ideas and critical opinions in Southeast Asia.
Welcome back to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing. You're at the Durian Heat with Grace. And I have been speaking with Dr. Shan regarding this beauty, also problems and a procedure and some treatment heading towards the festive seasons in Malaysia. And of course, when we come closer to all these festivals and events, perhaps we need to ask for recommendation and also advice from doctor what we can do and what are the recommended treatment that he can share with us.
Right. So, looking at the festivals that are coming up, well, Christmas is only a short while away.
Yep.
So, with this short period of time, it does limit the amount of the type of treatment you can do, because you have to take into consideration the recovery period,
Right.
and also we have to take into consideration whether if there's any other corrections that we need to do post treatment, meaning after the treatment. So looking at short period of time, we are a big fan of effective equipments,
Right.
non-invasive things, so that you can consider. the BTL's Exilis Elite. Very, very impressive for skin tightening. So for lifting up, for lifting, for firming, and even for breaking down fat as well.
Right.
So very, very impressive piece of equipment. That's the BTL Exilis Elite. The other thing that that clients or patients can really consider if they want, say, for example, removal of freckles or really evening the skin tone or whitening, is laser treatments. So they range from there are many lasers on the market, but the popular one is Q switch. So you could go for Q switch anti-yag laser treatment, and it's like an eraser. It really erases off those pigments and freckles and really even out your skin tones. And these are pretty much immediate. The other option that clients can go for are microdermabrasion, for example, which is a machine or a treatment that removes a layer of your dead skin to review your younger skin beneath.
So that means that it can be done within a very short period of time.
Oh yes. It for laser, for example, if you let your doctor know that you're preparing for an upcoming event or festival season, they would be able to tune it or to tailor the treatment based on your requirement. They should be able to. So if you've got a bit more time and you can afford a bit more downtime, then we'll go for a bit more aggressive treatment, whereby you'll be able to, the more aggressive treatment will give you better results at the end, but then again, longer downtime.
Yep.
So if you can't afford that much downtime, which would go up to a month, sometimes even.
I see.
So go for the less invasive option, or get the doctor to customize the treatment to your requirement.
I see.
Yeah.
And also you have a few other recommended treatment if we don't have enough time, right?
Well, there are quite a few. There you could go again with the peel itself. You have microdermabrasion. You could go for chemical peels. You could do PRP treatment, which is again quite impressive as well. It's basically what we do. PRP stands for platelet-rich plasma, by the way.
Okay.
What you do is you draw your the patient's blood, and then you process it. You get the you retrieve out a small portion which is rich in all the growth factors, stem cell factors, basically all the good things.
I see.
And then if you need treatment for the face, for example, you re-inject it back into the areas that need the attention the most. So this highly effective treatment as well. So for short period of time, these are the treatments that you can do.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And also for the long term, if you have enough time, you plan yourself very well before certain events.
Well, if you let's go a bit longer. So if you've got 3 months, for example, you could do quite a bit more.
I see.
If let's talk about body sculpting. Body sculpting. There is this BTL Vanquish Me and also BTL Exilis Elite. Both of them highly effective as well. Minimal downtime, non-invasive. So looking at these ones, why you need more time? It's because first of all, the machine works on you. Let's talk about BTL Vanquish Me.
Sure.
Right. So it's a non-invasive. There is no pain, right? And it gives you results similar to liposuction.
Right.
So there is no knife, no surgery. You lie on the bed, and the machine doesn't even touches you. So it's that advanced. It just burns off your fat like that. But it requires 4 to 6 treatments, 1 week apart. And then the fat also takes time to die off, so
Right.
to speak. So it takes about 8 weeks
I see.
before you see real results. But then again, a lot of the clients, or some of them, are lucky enough to see results after the first session as well. So that's the BTL Vanquish Me. And then you have BTL Exilis Elite, also very, very impressive piece of equipment. I mean, you get this one's, I can't say quite zero pain, slight discomfort, very bearable. We haven't had any clients complain yet, so very slight discomfort. Some even fall asleep, but this one's quite impressive, whereby it gives you immediate skin tightening. So most of the clients go back feeling better or looking better. They can feel their skin tighten immediately. These are body sculpting equipments. With the Vanquish Me as
Right.
well, they do thigh as well. So if you want to shape your thigh, you can use that to shape your thigh. Again, no pain, no downtime. So these equipments are I mean, these ones are really, really impressive. So if you've got a bit more time and you want to sculpt your body,
Yeah.
definitely an option, these ones.
That's very good. But I'm sure when it comes to all these seasons, I mean, festive season, people also want to go for, removal of their skin acne, or even going for the whitening stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. With acne problems, you need a bit more time. Again, there are a variety of options.
Right.
So depending on the severity of your acne, if it's still active or has it already subside. So if it's let's say a client in their 20s, doesn't matter male or female, that has a lot of acne scarring. So they come in, which is very, very common. So they come in, they want to get it fixed. This one would take time, would take
Right.
at least 3 months,
I
right?
see.
Because you need to have the swelling and the redness to you need it to subside and your skin to really heal itself again. So what we can do is really we do, if it's a lot of acne scarring, we do subcision, meaning
see.
we release the scar from the base of your skin, and then after that you could consider using PRP treatments for your face, or fillers as well. So but these ones, they need time. You could also go towards the laser direction to resurface your skin. There is no really fixed treatment protocol for acne
I see.
or any of this. There's not really fixed in stone. It really depends on the individual, and the doctor would assess and then give an appropriate treatment plan. Yep. So it really depends on the individual. So if you've got a bit more time and you want your acne fixed, sure, we could do it. But if it's just a week away or 2 weeks away, that might be a bit more difficult or challenging. A bit more time, you could do whitening as well.
Right.
So you could go for, which is quite popular these days, the whitening drip. You could go for, hair removal, which also would take time for it to the redness to subside. I mean, there are plenty of things you could consider if you've got a bit more time.
Right.
Even that is picking up these days. Rejuvenation of the intimate areas
I see.
for the ladies, tightening as well, and whitening. For men, hair removal also popular.
Oh,
or
really?
hair transplantation. Oh yeah. We do quite a bit of manscaping. Yep. So yes, that as well. Well, we do a variety of things from head to toe.
For
really.
sure,
Yeah.
it's really enhancing whole body and yourself. Yeah, I wouldn't say transforming. It's more like you know your problem and you want to fix it, and also look better, and also be confident with who you are, basically.
That's it.
So then, how do we find this clinic doctor in Malaysia?
Well, Aurelia's at One City. We're located at the Subang USJ.
I see.
It's a new integrated development. We have hotels over there. We have offices, F&B outlets. There is a more of a fashion
I see.
store as well. And we are located at One City at this building called The Place on level 4.
I see.
Yeah, that's where Aurelia is.
And also, how do we find via social media?
Yes, you can look first, even Google. If you've got Google Maps or Waze, you could look for Aurelia Medical Center or
Sure.
Aurelia Aesthetic Center. We're there, or you could go on our website
Yep.
as well. Aurelia aurelia.my. For more information, you could always contact us through the website or our information online.
All right. So do check their website on aurelia.com.my. And also, I've been speaking with the Dr. Shan to talk about all this variety that you can actually pick and choose for this coming up seasons, especially Christmas, New Year, and Chinese New Year. And you can expect to look better and then also take awesome pictures with your families and friends. So thank you so much, Doctor, for your participation.
No, thank you, Grace, for having me here.
You're welcome.